Reading from the Japa Reform Notebook by His Holiness Satswarup Das Goswami Maharaj. The sixth offense is to interpret the holy name. In the Shastra are many different statements of the holy name's powers. The Narada Pancharatra declares that chanting the holy name protects one from the bad effects of this age, Kali Yuga. The Kali Santarana Upanishad says that the Mahamantra contains within its syllables all other mantras and Vedic rituals. It is so powerful. So don't interpret the chanting actually the chanting actually works something on the mind. It hypnotizes the mind, or it's meant for meditation on Brahman or any subtle interpretation. Hear, learn. What your Guru and the Shastras say about the holy name is the literal understanding. Don't make some interpretation from your own concoction. When we were first chanting in Tompkins Square Park, Allen Ginsberg was there, and a reporter asked him, "What is this chanting?" He said, "It is a biological thing. The release of oxygen by constant chanting produces ecstasy in the body." Where did he ever hear this? By his fertile poetic imagination. This is his concoction. Or sometimes people say the devotees are hypnotized. These are material explanations. And don't invent so called spiritual interpretations either. Once one girl told Prabhupada, "When I chant, I see in my brain a big red light. What should I do?" "Just keep chanting," Srila Prabhupada said. "It will go away."
It's very important to know the difference between methods like hypnotism or mesmerism versus the effects produced by the chanting of the holy name. For example, even the psychiatrists give some pills to restrain the mind from becoming hyperactive. And it has been proved to be successful that people who were very much hyperactive like monkeys, they have become slowed down in their speech, in their bodily movements. But they have produced adverse side effects like candidate becoming hysterical. You know hysterical? Hysterical means becoming crazy, laughing to himself, speaking to oneself. And also because it is a forceful control of the mind by the medicines, it produces many other side effects like a person becoming fatter, person becoming slowed in even his thinking process, that he cannot immediately understand what you are saying. He takes some time to grasp after some time. So therefore, the modern day psychiatric medicines, which may temporarily handle the problem in hand with respect to the hyperactive nature of the mind, they produce many adverse, undesirable side effects, stunting the very personality and alienating him from the common people. He can't be like the normal person as he was before. I know even there are personally people whom I know in my personal life, whom I have come across, how they were at one time, how they became so pathetic after taking these medicines. In the same manner, mesmerism or hypnotism, a whole hall of 1,000 people can be hypnotized to imagine that they are in the ocean and they have to swim. So the speaker on the dais makes them, swim in the hall. He can make them cry. He can make them laugh. So they produce such kinds of effect by monotonous speech and some kind of magical type of effects by repeating some statement over and over again and trying to control their mind. So keeping this in mind, in the Western world, some people protested against the chanting of the holy name, that this repetition of the name probably mesmerizes the mind or hypnotizes the mind, due to which the people are cut off from the outside world. They are living in a small world like a frog in the well, and because of which they are forced to think a set of rules to be the ultimate truth, and because of inaccessibility to others. So they actually wanted to take an action on ISKCON. It was taken to the court. At that time, Srila Prabhupada said put all our books in front of the lawyers. Our books are all authentic Vedic literatures based on Vedavyas's writings. Let them read these books and understand these books and come to know what our movement is. So, in fact, there were some people even complaining that these people put children to very little amount of sleep deprivation, because they are forced to wake up in the morning because they don't know we sleep very early also. Not like them awake till 1 o'clock. So, fortunately, both in Germany and in America, these things went to the court and was dealt with in the court, and ISKCON emerged successful in both the cases. Because they have found that these people are not having any baseless philosophy. They have the books, they have the scriptures, they have the valid philosophy authorized by the acharyas in the disciplic line of Sanatana Dharma. So, in this way, in this world, there will always be people who will try to minimize the holy name by misinterpreting the holy name, considering it to be like some other material mind controlling systems, and they are going to misinterpret it due to their offensive outlook. Actually, the happiness produced in the kirtan of the holy name is actually the ecstasy of the soul manifesting in our mind and in the body, externally manifesting. It is coming inside out. It is not outside in. Outside in means that you feel some release of oxygen and therefore you feel happy, as our Allen Ginsberg was making a point. Rather, it is inside out. The ecstasy of the soul manifests. So Prabhupada gives an example in his Bhagavatam purports. He says that when a person is angry inside, that comes outside in the form of a bloodshot eyes, in a quivering of the lips and trembling of the body. And then if his anger increases, he will even raise his hand, raise his tone. When he still becomes more angry, he will raise his hand. If he still becomes angry, he will slap. If his anger goes uncontrollably, he will kick. So these are all internal state of consciousness manifesting externally. Same way Prabhupada says, when one does japa, internally one feels happiness, so there's a smile on the face. And then when one is more happy, then one chants Hari Bol. Then one is even more happy, then one will raise both the arms. And if one has uncontrollable happiness inside, one will stand up and start dancing. We have seen in Kirtans of Sulan Lokanath Maharaj. Slowly it starts, and as it builds up, at one time nobody can control anybody. People stand up and start dancing, isn't it? So it's an internal state of consciousness manifesting externally. Just like if you are walking past a house on the road, inside the house, if there is some happy program going on, some birthday party or some festival or something, and there people are making wits and humor, and there's a loud laughter inside the house. So that loud laughter makes the whole house vibrate, and you can see that vibration coming out. Not that there is an earthquake outside and therefore the house is vibrating. So this example is given by Her Grace Urmila Mataji in her Holy Name book. She speaks about it. She says the internal happiness of the group of people makes a vibration of the house, not the earthquake. So this kind of misinterpretations given by people who are skeptical about God, religion and the holy name and everything, such misinterpretations of people like Allen Ginsberg should be rejected, and the correct explanations given in Shastra should be accepted. It is not that we cannot interpret the holy name at all. Holy name is interpreted by acharyas also, but that is acceptable. For example, Krish means to attract. Na means to bestow happiness. So therefore Krishna means one who attracts you to himself and bestows happiness. Similarly, Hare Krishna mantra also is given explanation by Gopala Guru and by many other acharyas also. Each word, what is Hare means, Krishna means, Hare means. So they have given. That is also called interpretation, but those interpretations are completely in line with Shastra, with the predecessor acharyas, and they don't go against the meaning of the bhakti movement. Therefore, one has to accept those interpretations given by pure devotee acharyas coming in the line, and not accept any misinterpretations given by non-devotees and atheistic people and those who are not in bhakti line and giving some jnana or yoga point of view explanations, and such a wrong explanation should be rejected. Also, we ourselves should not try to give interpretations which we may claim that they are in line with bhakti. We should not try to give our own explanations or interpretations of the holy name, but we should only accept the interpretation given by acharyas on the holy name, because holy name is a very advanced subject and one should be very careful in approaching it, and one should not take the Sanskrit words and do some sandhi vichhed this way, that way, and try to give one's own interpretation due to one's scholarship in Sanskrit. That is very risky. Therefore, the fifth offense is about disbelieving in the glories of the holy name, and the sixth offense is about misinterpreting the holy name. So both these things are improper approach to the holy name, and if you avoid these two by developing genuine more faith in the holy name and just repeating the explanation of the acharyas and accepting it as a solemn fact, then one will be able to avoid these offenses, and then one will be able to derive the genuine taste while chanting the holy name. Harinam Prabhu ki